Assalamualaikum and good day I bid to Dr. Muhammad Fauzi bin Husin and to all the audiences. This is a presentation video of Group 3 for a course subject Uicl 2072 Section 1 for Assignment 1 entitled Religion and Sustainable Economy. My group has chosen to emphasize on two religions in completing this assignment, which are Islam and Christian religion. My name is UMAIRAH binti AMRAN and I am the leader of Group 3. Along with me, there are 4 other members who will be explaining in detail about the topic. We have Siti RAFHANAH binti RAFLIZ, Nur AZMIENA binti AZMI, Nur ATIQ bin ZAIDI, and Ku EZRIQ RAIF bin Ku BESRY. Now, I will hand over the presentation to the first presenter, Nur AZMIENA binti AZMI.
Hi, my name is Nur AZMIENA binti AZMI. Before we start, I will introduce the contents of these presentations. First, we will start with introductions, then we continue with eco-sustainability and Islam, and then continue with Christianity. 2 of our members will be presenting on interview research, and then we will be ending our presentation with conclusions. So, let's start. So, what is economic sustainability? Economic sustainability is defined as resources that need to be constantly used so that the long-term sustainable values can be maintained in the future. In other words, economic sustainability is an initiative for resource conservation that explains the current values we have and estimate values for the futures. In the screen, as you can see, the indications of values can be seen as added values, saving, patterns, intangible asset, and debts. Economic sustainability is shown in 3 aspects, which is individuals. Individuals is to ensuring an adequate income to afford household necessity. For in the aspect of community, is maintaining or increasing employment opportunity for constant economic growth. And for the last one, the country is to increase of country's economy values to maintain trader investment in the local economy. So let's move forward to the concept of sustainable economy development. Sustainable economy development is identified as growth of a country resources, ensuring that the future generation resources are enough to increase the country's economy. One of the concepts is having innovations, diversity of industry. So the country should focus on variations the industry to avoid risky fluctuations. Variation of industry not just lessen the competitions, but also any possible economy downfall within the industry as rapid price markup might happen in the market. Diversity of industry also will increase a wider economy opportunity for the citizen. Employment opportunity. Employment opportunity help reduce the poverty of the citizens. This will help to reduce the citizens to rely more on social security. This is going to boost the economy, increasing for the government, and at the same time, the cost of living also developed to be more affordable with the citizen financial performance. We are going to look more into this topic with my group mate presentations. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and greeting to the lecturer and my fellow classmates. My name is Nur ATIQ bin ZAIDI, and I'll be explaining in regard to the economy, sustainability, and Islam. First thing first, I would like to explain the definition of sustainable economy in Islamic perspective. I have provided in the slide 2 verses taken from the Al-Quran. First verse is from Surah Al-An'am, verse 165. It is He who made you successors on the earth and raises some of you above others in rank to test you through what He gave you. This verse explains the role of mankind, which hold them as a leader or Khalifa of the earth to take care of the land gifted by the God. The second verse taken from Surah Al-A'raf, verse 56, and cause no corruption upon the earth after its reformation, and invoke Him in fear and aspiration. Indeed, the mercy of Allah is near to the doers of good. This verse reminds the mankind to restrain themselves from destruction of the world, meaning to not destroy the nature and to take care of earth and its resources. Next, I'll be talking about the Islamic principle for sustainable economy. There are 6 major principles in order to achieve sustainable economy in Islam that include first, mizan, which focus on the balance such as balance of nature. Second is maslahah, that focus in the best interest for the community in consideration to nature. Third, that reflect on people welfare to create policy. Fourth is ijtihad, which is to find their own answer on their own self to what is the best decision that could bring to great things. Fifth, being adil, which focus on justice to human and nature. And finally, amanah, by taking the responsibility as a khalifa that were entrusted by the God to take care of the earth. That's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, now I, EZRIQ RAIF bin BESRY, will now present economic sustainability and Christianity. In 3.1, definition of sustainable economy in Christianity's perspective, Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, in the New Revised Standard Version, mankind was created in His image to have dominion over the earth. Now, this means that mankind is forbidden to run rampant over His, God's creations, and are tasked to protect and care for all of His creations. That means that we have dominion over the earth in the sense that we can extract the resources, but it is within His limits. In Numbers 35, 2-5 in the New Revised Standard Version, Adam is told he is able to eat everything in the Garden of Eden except from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, this reveals that there are limits to resource extraction. Adam was given liberty to eat everything there except for one thing. That is his limit. So we humans also have limits to resource extractions on earth. Thus, we must make it sustainable, because when it is not, it will lead to dire consequences such as pollution, which is of biblical proportions. Thus, sustainable economy is a commandment from God. Next, we have the Christian principles for sustainable economy. First, we must be respectful and responsible towards the environment. Okay, in Genesis 2:15, New Standard Revised Version, the Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it, meaning that mankind must be respectful and care for the environment and the ecosystem. Now, this advocates an attitude of prosperity for the present and future generations. Next, we have harmony and kinship. Okay, in Genesis 2:7 in the New Standard Revised Version, then the Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. This means that man was created from the soil of the earth. It means we are connected to all other creations. Thus, it encourages interconnectedness, harmony, and kinship with all other living beings. Lastly, creation as God's gift. Okay, this means that mankind must support accountability, as we can see in Genesis 1:27, New Standard Revised Version. So God created humankind in His image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female, He created them. This is the Imago Dei, meaning man was created to His likeness, to God's likeness, meaning we are accountable for maintaining and sustaining the environment, and we are to greatly care for it. Thus, we must account for the safety and harnessing of the environment, but we must make it sustainable for the present and future generations. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, EZRIQ, for the wonderful elaboration. Now, we are going to go deeper into the content of the 4.0 part, interview research. This part is aimed to showcase on the practices of Islam and Christian religions to promote the sustainability of economy, as well as to present our group discussion on the religion stance. The first part is 4.1, Christian practices. In this part, our group has interviewed a representative who is a pious practitioner of Christianity. We have asked the representative on 3 questions for this interview session. The first question: what are the practices in promoting the sustainability of the economy in Christianity? The representative stated that the Christian action of poverty alleviation is expressed as an eloquent practice to ensure sustainability, which at the same time is in favor of the less privileged of the society. We can witness this action through some observation of several Christian religious bodies and organizations where these organizations engage in activities that provide to the needy. This action also complies with the biblical narrative on the destiny of humanity through assisting each other in Genesis chapter 2. Question number 2. Do you think the practitioner of Christianity obeyed the practices completely? The representative mentioned that the practitioner of Christianity are free to choose whether to practice the religion's obligation completely or defy the responsibility obliged to them. However, our group strongly believes that the practices to promote a sustainable economy as a synergy work of every human nature, even without the presence of religious relation to it. And the last question for the interview is, as a Christian believer, how would you support sustainability? The representative claimed that one of the faiths in Christian religion is to ensure that the society have proper and sustainable economy. Therefore, he stated that he supports the sustainability through paying the taxes to the government, and he also believed that effective taxation is essential to promote more inclusive and sustainable growth of the Malaysian economy, which our group concur with this statement. Now that is all from me. Siti RAFHANAH will continue with the second part of the 4.0 interview research. RAFHANAH, the floor is yours.
Thank you, UMAIRAH. I am Siti RAFHANAH and I will resume the presentation with the discussion on economic sustainability in Islamic practices. We conducted an interview and asked the interviewee, who is an obedient Islamic practitioner, 3 questions. So the first question we asked him was, can you briefly explain on the concept of sustainability in Islam? Our interviewee stated that Islam promotes sustainability in 5 aspects, which are life, faith, mind, property, and family. These are the 5 aspects which are the key objectives of the Islamic law, also known as Maqasid al-Sharia, and all Muslims are obligated to preserve the continuation of these 5 goals. So moving on, the second question we asked was, what are some of the practices that promote sustainability in Islam? To which our interviewee responded that poverty is forbidden in Islam because it is similar to disbelief, also known as kufur. Thus, he stated that there are ways to improve one's socio-economic status from the Islamic perspective, which also includes endowment, also known as wakaf, alms, also known as sadaqah, and also zakat. He further asserted that economic growth from the lens of Islam is the process of utilizing natural resources to a predetermined level for human well-being, because it is an obligation for all human beings as a trustee of Allah to preserve the universe and the creation that Allah has created. So the last question that we asked him was, as a Muslim, how do you promote the sustainability of economy? To which he responded that he never misses paying zakat every year during the month of Ramadan. Not only that, he also takes part in wakaf projects at the mosque, for example, free Quran lessons and also suspended meals project. To wrap up, we believe that what is preached by the Islamic religion should really be practiced by the society regardless of their faith to ensure that the economy is sustainable. Apart from that, we also believe that both Islamic and Christian religion command human beings to be the caretaker and the trustees of the earth. Hence, we absolutely assert that the only way to gain God's blessing and to not violate the preachers both in Islamic and also Christian religion is by sustaining the economy, by preserving the universe and also the creations that God has created. That's all from me, and I will pass to AZMIENA for conclusion.
To conclude our presentation today, it is crucial to sustain the resources for the country so that it can still be used for the future generations. So, economic sustainability is emphasized in both religions mentioned. In Islam, it is defined as to ensure the use of it for the present and future by taking care of the community and protecting God's creations. These facts are supported by the Islam practitioner during the interview that strongly believe on sustaining the environment. In Christians' view, resources are being said that it can be consumed endlessly, yet consumption of it must be used wisely and mindfully to ensure that enough resources for the future generations. Both religions agree that human must treat other creation responsibly to prevent punishments on humanity and earth. And based on what is preached on the Quran and Bible, neglecting the preservations and conservations on natural resources result in the severe punishment from God on humankind. This has to be believed that based on this true religion perspective, sustainable economy is important to all humankind regardless of the religion they are devoting. That is all from us. Thank you for lending your ears and your sight.